A very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast right here on KUTV Weekend Live. Now we have a lot in store for you tonight, but first, let's get the highlights. Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua accuses President Ruto of planning to sabotage the independence of the judiciary with an aim of rigging the 2027 elections. President Ruto hails Kenya's economic progress in achieving a reduction in inflation and interest rates. Leave the party, and join UDA if you cannot defend the interest of Kenyans. Sifuna fires at ODM leaders supporting President Ruto. Tone down your hostility towards President William Ruto. ICTCS William Kabogo seeks tranquility among residents of the Mount Kenya region.
This is Weekend Live with Anyango, Sylvia.
That's right, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Kiari. Remember, this broadcast is also coming to you live on YouTube at KUTVNEWS Kenya, and you can send us your feedback and engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has come in support of Chief Justice Martha Koome just days after her security detail was withdrawn. Now, according to Gachagua, who is on the run looking for allies, the government is planning to sabotage the independence of the judiciary with an aim of rigging the 2027 election. Edward Nyamu kicks us off tonight on KUTV Weekend Live.
The differences between the Cabinet Secretary of Interior Kipchumba Murkomen and Chief Justice Martha Koome office is seemingly taking a new twist after impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua criticized the Kenya Kwanza government for undermining the judiciary. According to Gachagua, the move to withdraw Koome's security detail is a move to pressure the CJI to resign from office. Gachagua has therefore stated that the government plan is to intervene with the 2027 general elections.
We want to ask the people of Kenya to be alert. Na hiyo maneno yote ya kumtoa Martha Koome tunajua ile inapangwa. Na inapangwa vile ilipangwa ya kutoa Rigathi Gachagua. It's a script ilikuwa imepangwa. Toa Rigathi Gachagua, ukishamtoa panga sasa toa Martha Koome, toa huyu. But we want to be vigilant, and we want to ask the people of Kenya to be vigilant so that the judiciary is not captured and Martha Koome is not hounded out of office and the Supreme Court is not disbanded ahead of the 2027 general election.
Gachagua has been of late causing sleepless nights to President Ruto and his allies, with his push of garnering support from different leaders being seen as a threat towards the Kenya Kwanza government. With the differences between the judiciary and the executive, Gachagua now sees this as a chance to boost his chances through judiciary.
There is even a bigger scheme to dismantle the Supreme Court ahead of the 2027 elections. A budget has been set aside through the National Intelligence Service, and all those petitions you are seeing against Justice Martha Koome, against judges of the Supreme Court, is the machinations of the state, because they would like to put a Supreme Court, a bench that is amiable to what those in power want. Tuseme ya kwamba we cannot accept, and we want to ask the international community to keep an eye on Kenya.
CS Murkomen has however come out in public denying Koome's sentiments, calling on her not to involve the public on state matters. These, however, have now triggered Gachagua and his allies.
Sasa wameacha maneno ya Gen Z, sasa wameenda judiciary. Kwa sababu tunajua Gachagua ile kesi yako nayo kule kotini, tunajua yale yanaendelea. Judiciary wanatishwa kutolewa ndio they rule vile serikali inataka. Judiciary, as per our constitution, is independent. So, jamani, tuheshimiane na Maluki and your group. Niwaombe tafadhali, respect institutionalism.
The complaint raised by the Chief Justice indicates an insufferable failure on the part of the National Police Service, which must be rectified promptly, and action taken to prevent such reoccurrence.
Kenyans are now left to play a waiting game to see the direction this politics will take. Edward Nyamo, KUTV.
Now, President William Ruto has praised the reduction in inflation, lower interest rates, and positive changes in the exchange rates, describing these as promising signs of economic progress. Ruto also addressed the partnership between Kenya and the United States, emphasizing a shared commitment to democratic principles and gender values aligned with the beliefs of both nations.
Speaking during a national prayer service organized by the Global Cathedral Church in Nairobi, President William Ruto stated that Kenya's economy has made significant progress, particularly due to efforts to reduce inflation, lower interest rates, and low exchange rates.
Working together, we have seen the inflation numbers come down, interest rates come down, exchange rates come down, and we have seen a great movement towards the healing of our economy so that we can proudly move together, united as a nation. 2025 is going to be a great year.
President Ruto highlighted that Kenya has achieved notable development through its collaboration with the United States, noting that the country continues to thrive on democratic foundations. He emphasized that U.S. policies recognizing two genders, female and male, aligning with Kenya's values.
Contrary to what has been happening in the past, this year we got some very welcome development in the United States, that as a leading democracy, we have gotten to understand that the policy direction of the United States supports what we believe in, that boys must remain boys, and men must remain men, and women must remain women, and girls must remain girls.
Reflecting on last year, Ruto recalled that former U.S. President Joe Biden had urged him to collaborate on diplomatic efforts to assist Haiti, which he believes the current president will continue to support the mission.
I was requested by the President of the United States last year to provide Kenya's security diplomacy that is also legendary and known to support Haiti. And I'm very proud that even President Trump, with the new administration, supports Kenya's mission in Haiti to help the men, women, children of that nation.
However, these efforts have faced challenges following a directive from current U.S. President Donald Trump to suspend foreign aid for 90 days. President Ruto has expressed optimism that 2025 will be a year of great success for Kenya. Brenda Nyongesa, KUTV.
Now, Orange Democratic Movement ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has criticized ODM leaders supporting President William Ruto, urging them to leave the party and join the United Democratic Alliance, UDA, if they cannot defend the interest of Kenyans. Sifuna made the remarks during a church service at Eden Gospel Trumpet Ministry in Dagoretti, Nairobi County, where he joined Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka. The event highlighted emerging divisions within ODM, particularly regarding divergent opinions about the party's stance on government criticism amidst Ruto's support for Raila Odinga's African Union chairmanship candidature. Sifuna reaffirmed his allegiance to Kalonzo and Raila, emphasizing his commitment to defending Kenyans and standing firm against perceived injustices. Kalonzo, who is being positioned as a potential presidential candidate for 2027, echoed similar sentiments, highlighting the need for unity within the opposition and continued focus on safeguarding the welfare of Kenyans.
wamechoka kutetea wananchi. Wanasema hawakuzaliwa kukaa ndani ya upinzani. Wanasema wamechoka kutetea haki zenu. Mimi nataka niseme vile umeniambia hapa, mimi nitazidi kusimama kwa kweli. Kama kitu ni kibaya, kitu ni kibaya. Na tutasema ni kibaya. Wale ambao wanasikia wamechoka. Kama umechoka kutetea wananchi, umechoka kusimama na haki, wewe ondoka ndani ya chama, wewe ongee tu UDA mara moja. Mkoe huko na Ruto, si ndio? Kwa nini unajifanya wewe unapenda rais sana, mtu ambaye anasimama na chama kingine? Wewe umesahau wewe ni mwana ODM. Kama wewe umechoka na ODM, ingia tu kwa Ruto direct, mkoe huko tujue nyinyi watu wa UDA na sisi tubaki kutetea haki za wananchi.
At the same time, William Kabogo, the newly appointed Cabinet Secretary for ICT and Digital Economy, has urged residents in the mountain region to tone down their hostility towards President William Ruto, even as he acknowledged the differences between the Kenya Kwanza administration and the region. Kabogo called on the region to embrace President Ruto and his government for the sake of development, pointing out that bad blood could cause project delays. He also criticized the sentiments made by former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua during a meeting with the NARC party leader Martha Karua that saw him criticize President Ruto for allegedly betraying the mountain. Kabogo claimed that he was impeached for personal reasons rather than for supporting the Mount Kenya people.
So what we are saying as people of this region, because this is where I come from, I have no other place, this is my home. We should be cognizant of the fact that the government should serve us, and we must allow government to serve us. So huwezi toka kule umetoka huko ukuje ujue ulikuwa serikalini alafu uanze kusema msikae alafu tukule nini? Kama sasa wewe unaniambia ati haungechukua kazi kwa sababu ya hii serikali, mbona hukuja nyumbani kuniambia tutafanya nini? You understand? I am called to serve the people of Kenya. I'm not called to serve Kiambu. Ndio nasema hata wale wako Kiambu waache wasiwasi. Mimi huko siko, niko kwa kuhudumia wa Kenya katika wizara ya ICT and Digital Economy. Ukiingia sokoni kutafuta maharagwe, uende mahali maharagwe iko, si utanunua. Sasa wewe unataka services kwa serikali lakini unatupa mawe.
Now, Kenya's delegation to the prestigious Middle East and Africa Future Leaders Challenge MIA FLC 2025 has demonstrated exemplary leadership and creativity, bringing immense pride to the nation, courtesy of the team's stellar performance in Dubai from January 21st to 24th. And as our very own James Baraka now reports, the event hosted by Game Changers brought together 95 top-performing students from 23 schools across 13 countries in the Middle East and Africa, alongside 80 school directors, policymakers, and industry leaders.
Kenyan team comprising of 12 top-performing students and 8 educators from Kenyatta University under the Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center Eastern Africa, Strathmore University, and Boma College has brought immense pride to the nation following his stellar performance in the Middle East and Africa Future Leaders Challenge 2025 finals held in Dubai. During the competition, Onesmus Kimathi and his international team clinched first place with their groundbreaking Stay project, focusing on accessibility and personalized assistance using artificial intelligence. On her part, Diana Njoroge and her team secured second place with their Solo project, an innovative app for solo travelers, as Abdallah Nasu received recognition as Top Future Leader Student 2025 for his outstanding engagement and leadership throughout the event. Additionally, Kenyan students Mark Murugi and Doris Morong, together with their team, were specially recognized for their collaborative cultural integration system project, as Dr. Esther Munyiri, the director of GTRCMC Eastern African, got honored as the new country manager for the East Africa Future Leaders Challenge, which now tasks her with the role of spearheading the upcoming East African FLC finals set to take place at Strathmore University on 28th and 29th April 2025. The week-long challenge now affirms to have been more than just a competition, with Kenya's outstanding performance highlighting the country's growing influence in shaping the future of global tourism and hospitality. Congratulations to the Kenyan team for their remarkable achievements and for putting the nation on the global map of tourism innovation. James Baraka for KUTV.
Now that story by James Baraka takes us to a very fast break on the broadcast tonight. Stay with us.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Ni nguzo na uso wa jamii. Kupanda shuka, akawa tuzo. Ukakamavu wake, ukatii na kumfanya mwenye bidii. Kwa machozi na makeke, akabaini jinsi ya kuwini. Huyu ni mwanamke ngangari, kwa jinsi alivyo ngari-ngari. Mimi ni mwanamke mwake. Usikose kutazama kipindi cha mwanamke mwake, nami Caroline Kimwe.
You are watching Weekend Live with Anyango, Sylvia.
Now, welcome back. Let's shift gears to news across our borders, where US President Donald Trump on Friday went to areas of the United States affected by natural disasters. He visited the state of North Carolina, which was hard hit by Hurricane Helene in September, and toured parts of California where fires are still burning. Gania Dalot reports from Los Angeles.
U.S. President Donald Trump told people in North Carolina that they were treated very badly by former President Joe Biden's administration following last September's Hurricane Helene.
Unfortunately, our government failed you, but it wasn't the Trump government. It was a government run by Biden. What a terrible situation.
Trump was especially critical of the work of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, or FEMA. FEMA responded to Hurricane Helene, and the agency's chief of staff during the Biden administration, Michael A. Cohen Jr., said Trump has been misinformed about the agency. Trump told North Carolina officials Friday that he will be signing an executive order to begin overhauling the Federal Emergency Agency.
I think, frankly, FEMA is not good. I think when you have a problem like this, I think you want to go and whether it's a Democrat or Republican governor, you want to use your state to fix it and not waste time calling FEMA.
Landing in Los Angeles, Trump was greeted by California Governor Gavin Newsom.
Thank you for being here. It means a great deal to all of us. We're going to need your support. We're going to need your help.
Trump, accompanied by the First Lady, visited the site of the Palisades fire that took the lives of at least 11 people and destroyed and damaged almost 8,000 structures. After meeting with local residents and first responders at the emergency fire briefing, he said that the federal government is standing behind California 100%.
We're going to essentially waive all federal permits. We're going to have you go very quickly because a federal permit can take 10 years. We're not going to do that. We're not going to we don't want to take 10 days.
Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass said she would help with that on a local level as well.
We are going to do everything we can, slashing regulations, expediting everything so that people can begin the process right away.
Trump also brought up California water policies he believes resulted in sending too much water into the Pacific Ocean, instead supplying city of Los Angeles and exacerbating the recent wildfires.
I'm signing an executive order to open up the pumps and valves in the north. We want to get that water pouring down here as quickly as possible and let hundreds of millions of gallons of water flow down into Southern California. I tell you who does like it is the fire department.
While a 177 million gallon Santa Ynez reservoir near Pacific Palisades was closed for repairs when the fire erupted in the area, Letitia Crenier, Water Policy Director of Public Policy Institute of California, said there is no relationship between the fires in Southern California and state rerouting water from the north.
The reservoirs in Southern California are full, and there's not a limitation on water supply there.
A large percentage of the fires in Los Angeles Palisades and the Eden fire are mostly contained, with 28 fatalities and over 16,000 structures destroyed. The city is looking at a long road of recovery ahead. Jenya Dulo, VOA News, Los Angeles.
Now that President Bashar al-Assad's long rule in Syria has ended, family members and house hostage aid groups are taking the search for missing journalist Austin Tice to Damascus, checking abandoned prisons for signs of the American. Christina Caicedo-Smith has more.
Armed with flashlights and cameras, members of Hostage Aid Worldwide search this former detention center in the Syrian capital of Damascus. They are looking for signs of Austin Tice, an American journalist taken captive at a checkpoint in 2012.
This usually it's used as a group prison. It will have almost probably 100 persons when it's crowded. We want to look at the walls to see if there is any writing in English or anything, to see if we had any foreigners in this section.
Saka says he doesn't understand how people survived.
It's really too bad.
In one abandoned facility, the team found graffiti the Tice family believes had been left by Austin. Hostage Aid Worldwide later took his mother, Deborah Tice, to view the markings. Since the fall of President Bashar al-Assad's government in early December, Hostage Aid Worldwide has searched buildings across Damascus for Tice and others believed to be held in Syria. The search for Austin Tice has intensified. Just before the regime collapse, the Tice family announced they had verified evidence that Austin had been held in Damascus. Roger Carstens, the Biden administration's special envoy for hostage affairs, traveled to Damascus in late December with other U.S. officials. He spoke with U.S. media last month about the government's commitment to finding the journalists.
We have to help or rather work with our interim authorities officials to make sure that we do a good search so that I can one day look Deborah Tice in the eyes and tell them that our search has been exhaustive.
Disappointed by the lack of U.S. progress, Deborah Tice returned to Syria this week to look for her son.
But the most important thing is, right now, at this moment, where is my son? Who is holding my son? It doesn't really matter where he was in 2018 or 2012. It doesn't matter.
Deborah Tice has confidence in the Donald Trump administration to help bring her son home.
His people have already reached out to me. I hadn't experienced that for the last 4 years. And so I'm very much looking forward to their help.
President Trump has nominated Middle East expert Adam Bowler to be his special envoy for hostage affairs and to work with families like the Tices. But for now, back in Damascus, the search for the journalists continues.
There is safe houses that we need to search for Austin ties in safe houses in Damascus or in Latakia, as well as we need to check more the hospital's record to see if there is any evidence on Austin.
Deborah Tice says the family looks forward to the day Austin will walk free. Cristina Caicedo Smith, VOA News.
Now, in sports tonight, Police FC defeated Mara Sugar 1-0 in the Football Kenya Federation FKF Premier League match at Awendo Stadium. Police FC's Beja Nyamawi scored the winning goal in the 15th minute. In other matches, Kariobangi Sharks played to a 1-1 draw against Bidco United at the Dandora Stadium. Midfielder Andreas scored for Kariobangi Sharks in the 12th minute, but Bidco United's forward equalized in the 80th minute. Meanwhile, Gor Mahia and Kakamega Homeboys played out a goalless draw at Mumia Stadium. And Leicester City triumphed 2-1 over Tottenham at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Richarlison scored in the 33rd minute, but Jamie Vardy equalized in the 46th, and Bilal El Kanous sealed the win in the 50th minute. Brentford secured a 2-1 victory against Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Brian Mbeumo scored a penalty in the 66th minute, with Kevin Shade adding a second in the 80th before Romain Is struck a late consolation for Palace in the 85th minute. In tonight EPL fixtures, Fulham host Manchester United at 10 p.m. at Craven Cottage. Meanwhile, in La Liga, Rayo Vallecano defeated Girona 2-1 at Estadio de Vallecas. Now that is it from us tonight. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV and for staying with KUTV Weekend Live this far. On behalf of the production team led by my producer Edward Nyamu and director Mutegi K. Martin, thank you so much. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Lucy Kierie and Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.